morning, I'm Adam Davis, and I have with me special guest Nathan Mace. We're helping you make millions over morning coffee. I'm really excited to have Nathan in the studio with me this morning. Nathan is an active real estate investor like Dylan and myself. Dylan's out today. He's out looking at houses, stealing properties from banks, grabbing huge chunks of equity and cash flow. So I wrestled Nathan into the studio this morning for a couple minutes just to shed some insight about some really exciting things that are going on here in Michigan. Some stuff that we've talked about on the show before, which is this whole film tax credit thing that's going on, where the state government of Michigan, the state of Michigan, is basically saying, and Governor Granholm are saying, film companies from all over the place, come make movies in Michigan. We're going to throw all kinds of tax incentives at you to get you to come make movies here because we think that it's going to be good for the economy. Now, what you'll notice about this show is that we want to rip and strip all the political spin off of everything and give it to you as raw as we possibly can. And I'm going to give you my take on this situation. I want you to email me your feedback to info@mirealestate.tv. But I think in the short term, this is an okay thing. I'm in favor of this. I think it's got some good boosts and does some good things for the economy. But one thing I do think about this, and I'm maybe a little bit of a cynic here, this is a little bit of a political play by a desperate state government to try to do something because they've dropped the ball in so many other areas over the last couple of years that they're just trying to do something right here to try to stop the bleeding. But you can't put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. So while we need to look at this film tax credit thing as something that of course is good, anybody that comes into Michigan and spends money and invests, that's a good thing. But we need to stay focused on the bigger picture things, and we can't use this as a mirage and let our politicians off the hook. We need to keep holding their feet to the fire to create a sustaining economy here in the state of Michigan. Nathan, what's your take on that?
Well, I'll tell you, Adam, you make some good points. But you know what? Not only have they made that legislation and put it into play, but companies are taking advantage of it. They're already here on the ground. A lot of them have opened up offices. They're out there looking at offices, buying offices, filling up space that desperately needs tenants. Not only that, but they're buying warehouses that have been vacant for all too long. So they're buying these warehouses, using them for staging areas, to set up with their displays and what they're doing. That is a great, great thing, not only for the city of Detroit, but for the local economy around it. You know, the film companies, they're getting rebates as much as 42 cents for every dollar spent in that industry. That's a pretty big rebate, right? It's worthwhile to come here to Michigan, do some things, check out what's going on. So they're taking advantage of that. They've already been here in the works, and there's a kind of a rush to get in here first. And I think we can all agree that this area needs change. Not some change, but a lot of change. So good, bad, the ugly, I don't care. Bring some change. It's got to be good for the economy.
Nathan, I don't think I can disagree with you too much about the state of change. But since you're out there in the trenches, I mean, you're buying and selling residential real estate all day long, right alongside Dylan and myself. What's your take on how is this film industry thing going to affect the average real estate investor out there? The average guy out there that may want to quit his job at some point in time or is looking to just supplement his retirement income?
Sure. Well, that's kind of tough to say right down to the residential real estate, but if it brings jobs into this area, if it brings money into this area, it's going to create demand for real estate all around. Now, if it brings jobs, well, now there's a little bit more demand for residential real estate. Now, my goal as a real estate investor is to buy these houses and hold them, right? So one day when families come in, when jobs are created, there'll be demand, you'll sell and make profit. Well, new jobs, new money, that's what that does.
So do you see this as something that's really going to, this is like because what all they're saying is that this is something that's just going to get the ball rolling. Now my take on it is that we need this and then we need 500% more in a lot of different areas like transportation, logistics, energy, healthcare. We need investment in those areas, and if you just focus all your attention on this area right now, we have a lot of tax money going at this. 42 cents on the dollar is a lot of money to be thrown at one thing. Would we be better off throwing that money at something like healthcare or transportation or logistics, or do you think this is a good place to start?
Well, you know, that argument can always be made. This is absolutely the tip of the iceberg. I mean, if they stopped here, then why even start, right? But if they start here and they get some momentum and they get excited and people see that change can happen and we can do things differently, then they move it to another industry like you said, and then they move it to another industry. That's how our economy, our industry is going to change and bring about good change. So yeah, you're right. I mean, this is a fragment of what they need to do.
All right. Well, I think we can both agree on that. You can tell that with Dylan, Nathan, and myself, we have quite a dynamic here. Like I said the other day, if you ever have two partners that agree on anything, fire one of them. God forbid you ever have three partners that agree on everything. So we have some good points of contention here, but it's all in the effort to try to bring you the best information you can take and put to work in your business right away. So that brings it down to the core crux of what we're talking about today, which is how does all this stuff impact you when you're trying to build wealth in real estate? Well, if you're trying to build wealth in real estate, entrepreneurship, anything else, we talk about keeping your ear to the ground. Nathan's probably going to test that because he has a lot of experience in other industries. But when you keep your ear to the ground and you know what's going on, you can take advantage of it. Nathan, on the long term, you said that this could bring jobs to the area. But on the short term, is there anything an investor should be paying particular attention to in this subject matter? Or what can the average investor take from this and put to work in their business right away? Is it something that you can use to potentially market to out-of-state investors or something like that, or it's something to talk to potential private lenders about?
Sure. Well, I think it might be microscopic in the way that if you are a investor in the city of Detroit, maybe you own some of these properties, you own some of these warehouses, you may want to step it up, and this might be a great shot for you to sell that or lease that space. Maybe you're in the way, the path of where it's moving, and you might be able to buy some of this land, some of these buildings. You're going to have to think about where some of these execs may want to live, where some of these jobs are being created, and then where they're going to buy homes, right? And kind of look in those neighborhoods and be able to provide that. So sure, I think there is definitely some opportunity that can be had.
I agree with that a little bit, and I want to take it a step further. Actually, I agree with that probably 90%. The only part that I don't agree with is that sometimes investors can too caught up in speculation versus investment. But if you want to look for a sure thing, you're not going to find it in real estate, and you're not going to find it in life because there's no such thing as a sure thing. But if you want to look at passive investing, like we talk about passive real estate investing here on Tuesdays, some of these projects, these real estate developments that they're creating, they might need financing. And there could be some substantial returns there, great tax benefits, great tax breaks. So as always, keep your ear to the ground, keep looking for opportunities. But we want to remind you to check back here each and every weekday at mirealestate.tv. And also check our business out. You can see Nathan, learn about him at www.reiaofmacomb.com. Nathan, do you have an email address and phone number you'd like to share?
Yeah, you know what? You can email me at Nathan@RIA-of-Macomb. It's Nathan @RIA-of-Macomb. I think we can all find that. And also, you can call me if you want to do business, because I don't have a blog like these guys set up. So to learn about me, you got to do business with me. 586-203-8316. Hope to hear from you.
Nathan definitely doesn't mess around. I can attest to that. But if you want to learn more about me, you can go to www.adamjdavis.com. You can hear about what I have to say on all kinds of subjects and see what I'm up to in my business life. And check back with us every day. We'll have special guests here like Nathan who are out there literally making thousands of dollars every time they step out of the office and make more money when they come into the office, locking down deals. Check back with us. The only place to get the most hard-hitting information is right here at mirealestate.tv. And we'll see you tomorrow as we help you make millions over morning coffee.